everyone, Miss Carrie here from Miss Carrie's Creations. Today I'm going to show you how to flip a kit. I'm going to be using this kit from Close to My Heart, which I have had sitting in my craft stash, and I'm going to use it to record some memories of our son and niece. These photos were taken on the same day, so I'm going to combine the two stories onto one page. Now, I don't usually use kits in the way that they were intended, and this one has some really bright colors I rarely use. To tone down those hues a bit, I have already added some navy stitching to the page, and I've outlined each one of those rays. I'm also going to be placing these pre-printed rays at the top of the layout instead of the bottom. These photos were taken on the day that our youngest son was officially given his own room. After sharing a space with two other boys, he was able to make this space his own with a little help from his cousin. As I was helping my son, my niece stole my phone and took a few selfies. So I'm going to lay out these photos in a manner that will show the two stories as one layout. On the focal point photos, I'm going to add some gray mats that came with the kit. This gray is going to help to tone down those bright colors and draw your eye to this silly photo. I've also added some blue behind the photo to bring more of those blue colors to the layout. The second mat that came with the kit is going to be cut in half and tucked behind the two photos on the left page. To draw your eyes to the photos even more, I'm going to use the two 3x4 mats to back the photo. Now, if you look really close, you can see that these are two different photo mats layered together, but from a distance, you can hardly tell. The smaller photo of my niece is going to be backed in the same blue that I used behind the photo on the right page. Again, this is bringing more blue hues to the layout, and it's going to help draw your eyes to the photo. All of those adorable selfie photos are going to be lined up at the base of the page. Now, one of the things I don't like about these kits are the pre-printed journaling lines. And since I have changed the structure of this layout, I needed to find a way to cover them. This line of photos is going to hide those journaling lines and create a way to draw your eyes across the page. To ground the layout, I'm going to place a piece of blue and green polka dot washi tape along the edge. This is going to bring more dark blues to the layout and add some balance to all those big, bold stripes at the top of the page. On the left side of the layout, I've added a dark gray mat, so I'm going to match that element by adding a strip from another mat that came in the kit right next to that large photo on the right page. The kit also came with this dark green pattern half circle, which I'm going to use on the layout to bring some more dark green to the design. Now, this kit came with two layouts. The elements in the other layout included these polka dot arrows, which happen to match some of the other elements I've chosen, so I'm going to use them to point to the selfie photos and help continue that line that draws your eyes across the page. Now you can see there that I did move that half circle sticker. I felt like it added quite a bit of color with the arrows, and I needed more color near the focal point photo over there on the right so that that photo doesn't get lost on the page. The other kit also had these little flags that match the arrows, so I'm going to use them above the other set of focal point photos to bring some more color to that part of the page. I wanted to create a big, bold title in this design, so I'm going to combine a few items from my craft stash. I have these patterned chipboard letters, which spell out teamwork, and I'm going to combine it with a chipboard element that says the best day. Behind that chipboard phrase, I'm going to use a sticker from the kit that was actually designed for putting a date, but the placement of the chipboard is going to hide the white space on the sticker. So now it's going to look like one element right there near my title. These two elements layered together also bring some of the green-blue colors from the other items on the page into the title. In the center of the O, I'm going to add a star-shaped brad. Instead of poking holes in the chipboard, I just went ahead and bent off the prongs, and then I'll adhere that star in place with a glue dot. I've also added a white and blue star element to bring some more white to the page and help that title stand out. So I want to start toning down some of those bright colors, and I'm going to do that with black and white. So here I have a black and white chipboard button, and I'll match that circular shape on the right side of the page with this layered circle and a black phrase sticker that says "Love this smile." I'm also going to add a few more star-shaped brads to the design, and this creates a nice visual triangle. Now I wanted to add a textural element with some stars, so I chose to use some acrylic stars on this design. This is going to create a nice contrast without adding any more color. All right, I'm going to start adhering these elements down onto the page, and then I'll see if I need to add anything else to the design. Like I said, I literally flipped this kit. I placed those rays at the top so that they point to the title and to the journaling and create a dividing point for the two separate events that happened on the same day. I honestly struggled with the amount of lime green on this layout, so I toned it down by adding navy stitching on those rays. I added more dark blues and dark greens, and then I added a blue-green to the layout. To help tie it all together, I added some elements from another kit, which also had the blue-green colors and a hint of gray and some bits of lime green. After adhering my elements to the page, I decided to add a few more star-shaped elements to highlight those focal point photos that tell the story. I also added some black phrase stickers that say "Together is the place to be" and "Remember to play." Adding gray and black and white to these two pages helps to mellow down those bright colors, and it allows me to add more elements to the page without adding more color. All right, at this point, I planned on going off camera and adding a little bit more stitching, and then I had planned on coming back and finishing the layout with you. Unfortunately, I hit stop instead of play when the camera was paused. So I didn't get the finishing touches in the recording, but I can share with you what I added to the page and why. Let's first take a look at what the original layout looked like and the page kit from which I took the other elements from. I literally flipped this kit upside down. I have created two separate clusters on the page to tell the two stories with a title that helps pull it all together. In the title, I have some deep blue letters, blue-green statement, and a lime-green backing, and a few star-shaped elements, which all match star stickers that I added around some of these photos. Even though I'm not a fan of the lime green, I felt like I needed to bring a little bit of it down near the bottom of the page with that star outline and a white star with a lime green star pattern. I also mirrored some of the blue elements to bring in more of those blue tones and balance out the greens. In my title, I brought in another color, a blue-green, which softens the bright colors. I repeated that color around the photos in the arrows, and that helps to lead your eye to those silly selfies. Bright colors often draw your eyes away from photos, so I added black and gray and white elements to help draw your eyes to certain elements. These create a nice balance with those bright blues and greens. Again, I mirrored patterns, colors, and shapes above the photos here to draw your eyes to the photos that help tell the story. I also like how that black sentiment sticker really helps bring it all together. On the two pages, I did add some more stitching for texture, and to help balance out all of that stitching, I added to the top of the pages. I have some gray zigzags to frame the photos, and then I added some blue zigzags here at the bottom of the page. Now the stitching here at the base of the page doesn't go all the way across. I didn't want it to be heavy with texture at the bottom of the page since there was already so much stitching at the top. So instead, I just left trails on the thread to make it look like I had partially pulled out the stitching. I love the contrast and the texture that this brings to the page. Around the other focal point photo, which is going to tell the second half of the story, I added some more stars to frame the image. Again, I mirrored the colors, the shapes, and the textures from the other elements on the pages to bring balance to this side of the layout. Now, all I need to do is add my journaling and this page is complete. Here are a few close-up photos to show you how the completed layout looks with the journaling and to show you what each of the elements look like in a little bit more detail. I love how I was able to take elements from the two kits and pull them all together to tell a story. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope that this project helped you learn a few ways to use a kit in your collection and how to balance out brightly colored elements on a page. If you would like to see more of my scrapbook tutorials, I have added a link to my playlist for you to view. If you enjoyed today's project, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment. While you are at it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.